This
Hi.
is the worst podcast I've ever heard. And today is a special day because not only am I here, not only is Luke here, not only is Ryan here to complete the regular trio, but we have a guest. We have another Ryan, and we're going to basically say Ryan, and someone's going to answer. So that's good. Ryan, the new one, how's it going?
It's going great. I'm eating a Milky Way right now to kick off the show.
Yeah, how professional.
So while he's eating that
Thanks
Milky
for
Way,
having me, guys.
While he's eating that Milky Way, I wanted to say something. So last week, me and Luke did a podcast, and at the beginning of the podcast, I had my glass of eggnog, and I started the Christmas season. Well, fast forward to today, the day that we're recording this, a week later, and let me tell you, I said I wanted to ring in the Christmas season, and what did I get today? It's snowing outside. I kid you not. I jinxed myself. It's snowing
This is
outside.
another old lady story. I went down to the market earlier today. There were 3 apples there out in the front. And
Right.
I said to myself, by golly, they're in season.
You know what that means? It's time for a glass of milk.
Go ahead, Pico. I didn't mean to interrupt your old lady
Was there any alcohol in that eggnog, Peaks?
There was not. It was made by a company that I don't know if they're known for alcohol or whatever, but it was the Southern Comfort, not a sponsor, eggnog. But I just want to say it's snowing, and I jinxed myself a week ago. I'm fine with the snow. It looks really nice, whatever. Anyway, this week it was announced, and I broke the news the other day, and Luke wouldn't, calm down and stop talking for a second so I could talk about it. Breaking Bad is going to have a movie, and we don't know when it's coming out. We don't know what it's about. All they said was it's going to track the escape of a kidnapped man and his quest for freedom, which can only mean one thing, that it's basically like after the show ends, right after the show ends. Luke, I know you're a big Breaking Bad fan. Like, what do you think about this movie?
Yeah, it's my favorite show of all time. So when I heard it, you know what? I'm not going to shit on it like other people. Not everyone's shitting on it, but it's the same thing that happened when Better Call Saul was announced. Everyone thought it was going to be a bad idea, and I was a little skeptical too. Now it's one of the best dramas on TV, and it's awesome. So I'm not going to doubt this project at all, but I'm not going to 100% invest in it until more information comes out. But it is exciting, and it'll be interesting to see what they do to tie up loose ends, and especially with Jesse's story. So I'm excited.
Wait, is there actually people that are complaining? Because if anything, I'm more excited for the Breaking Bad movie than I was for Better Call Saul. And that was going to be cool to see, like, the prequel to everything. But, like, being able to see what happens, like, right after, or, whatever, like, after the time, like, I think that's going to be, like, pretty cool. Like, I don't know.
I'm complaining.
You're complaining?
Yeah.
Wait, have you seen Breaking Bad? Like,
of course, I've watched every episode at least 5 times.
Okay, so do you not want, like, afterward? Like, I mean, I could see how someone might think, like, it was perfect ending, which I agree, it was a perfect ending for the time, but I'll take, like, post Jesse.
I'm a big believer in anything art related. Unless it's Star Wars, I don't really want a spin-off. Tell your story, and then I don't feel like you need to milk your story for more revenue because your other ideas aren't working. Or if you came up with one great idea once, let's just keep milking it for the same thing. Like, you told your story, end your story. And for people wondering why I said Star Wars, it's because, like, there's such a big universe, there's such a big galaxy. Like, there's a lot to build on. Like, not every story has to be the same, but in something like Breaking Bad, there's one main story, and I just feel like it's told, like the part of the point of the story was told. It's them two and Walt's story, and I just don't feel like it's necessary.
I think, like, right after, like, the final episode happened, my one thing was, like, it was kind of implied that, like, what Jesse was gonna, like, do after, like, he was going back to get the kid, and he's free now, and I think I agree that there was, like, a perfect ending, and they shouldn't, like, milk something that was so good. But I mean, I'm all for this movie. I don't know, Luke, you were gonna say something?
Yeah, let's move on to the next subject. wrestling, and
Oh.
I'm starting to feel bad for No Tweet. He has not seen the show.
Oh,
Well, hold
No,
on. No.
Ryan.
Hold on. You can
I loved
fucking
the
wait,
Breaking Bad
Ryan.
discussion, but
Alright?
you know what, Ryan? You're not even supposed to be here, buddy. So
Oh yeah. You know
back of the
what?
line,
How-
back of the line,
Yike.
new guy. Back
Hey,
of
you
the
know what? How
line.
about you watch a little bit of television for once instead of
You know
sitting
why?
there
Because I'm enjoying the outdoors. God's
You know
gym.
what?
the
You know what the
outdoors.
problem with
God.
television is? Hold
It's
on.
November.
Hold
It's
on.
fucking cold out.
No Nut November, gang.
The problem with
You're
television
participating
this
in that
week.
not by choice.
Excuse
I'm
me.
not participating in that. Sorry.
Yeah, not by choice.
Shut the fuck up.
Yeah, you
Can I-
mad?
We need to get this back on track here.
Ryan
People,
wants-
there are wrestling fans
Hey,
listening
hey,
to
Hold
this.
on.
Hey,
I wanted to make a point.
Okay,
Ryan.
make your point.
Look, the whole point of the end of Breaking Bad was that Jesse's free. It doesn't matter. You don't need to know where he's going next. It doesn't matter. The point is that he's free. So I just don't understand.
But
Like,
Brock was left stranded with his mom's brains on the porch.
Like, yeah.
Speaking
Well,
of
the
Brock.
point is, it feels like they're not building on a story. Like they're just creating a whole. It's not like any of the
They
stuff.
are, right, you're right.
It's not like any of the stuff that's going to be in this movie is stuff that they had in mind or that was built upon in the show, and they're now going to continue it. It's just like a bunch of new stories they're going to make up on the way that they
You're
can
right.
milk Jesse for. I don't know.
True. Okay,
I
now let's
agree.
get on to some
Okay,
wrestling.
so from one television show to the next television show, basically this week, the whole story is that Raw is going to chop off the 15-minute runoff that they have. Basically, like every single Raw goes for 3 hours and 15 minutes, approximately. Sometimes it ends in like 12 minutes and 10 minutes, whatever. They use that runoff, and I think like that was always one of those things where it's like you don't know when it's going to end. Like, but the show is 3 hours. Like, can you really not finish at the 3 hour point? Luke, what do you think about this 15-minute gimmick?
I thought it was. When did they go from 11:05 to 11:15? I could have swore it was 5 minutes.
Well, the runoff, the overrun, I meant to say, it was never like a set time. It's not like, oh, it's 15 minutes. You know.
Well, the 05 was set, right?
Yes.
It was always, yeah.
But he's talking. I thought. Wait a second. I
Oh,
thought
it's going to be 11 sharp now.
Is it? I thought it was going to be 11:05 sharp because the
No.
overrun is.
No, I think it's going to be at the hour.
Exactly.
Okay. Well,
3 hours.
regardless, I don't think it matters. Like, it's not like when matches were. It's not like when it was set to end at 11:05 earlier. Like matches ended at 11:04:59. It's like the matches are still going to end. They're still going to do the same thing. Like, I don't think it matters.
Yeah, I'm sitting in the same boat.
And they're spending so much money on it. There's still going to be like. There's probably still going to be a little bit of.
Oh yeah, I wasn't talking. Yeah, I'd have to agree. If you're gonna publicize a show being 3 hours long, like there's no reason to keep dragging it out. You cut it at the 3 hour mark. You just get going.
The other thing I think is like, if someone's complaining like, oh, it's 3 hours and 10 minutes or whatever, like an extra 10 minutes. Like if you're watching and you're at the 3 hour mark. And are you telling me you're going to turn off the TV at the 3 hour mark? Like, no, you're already there. You might as well continue to watch it. But I mean, they just have to squeeze everything in the 3 hours. They have 3 hours. They don't have to squeeze everything. They can delete and chop and get rid of the garbage stuff that we don't need to see at all to make sure that they don't go over the time.
People aren't going to stop at the 3 hour mark, but they're going to stop at the 2.5 hour mark when they're like, Jesus, I can't handle this anymore.
Yeah,
I mean, I agree. I mean,
yeah.
Like the thing with wrestling shows that I think people forget all the time is like people say like, oh, if you take an hour away, less people are going to be on the show. Like, yeah, that's fine. Like, we don't need to see Apollo Crews. Like, we don't need to see Zack Ryder matches. Like, no offense to them, but like, look, the harsh reality of wrestling is like not everybody's going to be a star. Like, I know you want everyone to kind of be a star, but like not everybody's going to be a star. Not everyone's going to be a main eventer. And like we don't need to see these guys every week. Like I don't need to see an Alicia Fox match every week. Like it doesn't need to be there. Some people aren't going to make it on the show, so it just doesn't need to be that long.
Well, really quick before we change subjects, a fond memory of when they went quote unquote overtime.
I love this story.
Oh, shut the fuck up! Ryan is being a little bitch again. No, but
yeah, Falcone.
One time in band camp.
Oh my god!
Continue,
Is that
Luke.
what I fucking sound like? So it was New Year's Eve 2003, and it was Triple H versus Shawn Michaels for the world title on Raw. And
Fucking
I
Mark.
remember it was December the 30th, 2003. Who could
What
forget?
arena was it? What was the attendance?
Oh, it
Nate?
had to be at the Tacoma Dome, 14,000 people. No, but anyway, my point is, it was really exciting because they went
Oh my
like
god.
no,
That's the point.
no. The point is, it was exciting because they went overtime. It was like 11:15, and I'm like, oh my god, this is insane! Like the
That
show
happens
should
all
have
the
been.
time, you idiot.
No, I'm saying
they
that's
go to
why
11:15
Oh my
literally
god,
all the time.
I'm talking. Okay, this is 2003, and this is my fondest memory of the fucking thing that they're getting rid of. That's
What'd
the
you have
whole
for dinner
point.
that night?
Your mom's box. Let's switch topics.
So, while Luke has heat with Ryan, that was really
Take your fucking
cheesy transition right there. So basically, there was a story that came out today. I don't know much about it. I just read it like a few minutes before we started this. That Braun Strowman is a heel backstage. He's got some heat. He doesn't get to work on time. A bunch of other things that I really don't care about. But I don't know. Did anyone else hear about the story today or read about it or know more than I do?
No.
I did read it.
What did you?
Okay.
What did you?
Okay, so
what is it about?
okay, back in 1919, there was a man named Mitch O'Connor.
Bruiser Brody. Bruiser Brody.
Okay, Bruiser Brody. Yeah. Now he kind of looks like Braun Strowman, so there's a point here. No, but I guess the old Meltz was saying that Braun Strowman is his own worst enemy. He leaves early and shows up late, and his knees are shot, and he takes up all the food and catering. And I'm sorry, is there something funny about what I'm saying?
And he's a Trump supporter.
And he's a Trumper.
The Rey Mysterio
And he's a
thing,
liberal.
Braun's knee. He goes around saying my knee. Okay, continue.
He's got fucking knee problems. Oh, this is going off the rails. But okay, the point is he has heat, and people are thinking maybe that was sort of, if not the reason, one of the reasons why he didn't win the title at Crown Jewel. So
did he get squashed? Didn't he get squashed at Crown?
He had to get squashed.
Oh yeah, why?
I think it's worse if he had a competitive match with Brock than one-on-one and lost.
Oh yeah, well that's makes sense, I guess. Anyway, next topic.
I didn't watch it. Luke, you watched it. What did overall thoughts of the show? Was it worth your time? Crown Jewel?
No, it was a very weird show.
Ow.
Yeah,
it was terrible. Well, it wasn't terrible. Weird. It was terribly boring.
We had fun burying it though in the group text. That was fun.
Like none of it. I mean, literally none of it. You need to go out and see. I mean, none of it. But it was just really boring, and then nothing was like painfully bad. Like none of the matches were bad, but the show was just
weird.
It was a chore to get through.
I looked at the Observer today, and I'm pretty sure the main event got a star and a quarter, or a star and 3/4 or something.
I mean,
that
was
rough
bad,
because
Shawn
Michaels is there.
That was
I'm
bad.
sorry I didn't watch it. I heard nothing but bad things about that match.
I mean, it wasn't even Shawn's fault, man. Like, Triple H got hurt. Undertaker and Kane are just completely immobile at this point, man. Like, are they not?
Yeah.
They're like Frankenstein's monsters, yeah, but
they're old.
But Shawn, I was just that moonsault, and then he hit his head on Taker's leg, and Taker, you could see him pat Shawn like, "I'm sorry, I didn't fucking catch you."
I don't feel that.
Shawn's shaking his head like, "Why the fuck did I come back for this shit?"
Because he got $3 million, probably.
It was more than that.
Let's say you got $5 million. So I don't care if he fell on his head. I'll fall on my fucking head for $5 million.
Speaking of his head, do you think Triple H is like shave your head?
Wow, all right.
Yeah, what the hell? Speaking of head.
Speaking of head. Yeah, get the dick out of your mouth.
No, go ahead.
I was gonna say
there's a time and place for
right, cut him off.
Cool. Jesus Christ. Next topic. You know what? They don't call this the worst podcast that I've ever heard for nothing, gang.
Should call this the Al Snow Fan Club podcast.
No one fucking likes Al Snow.
So let's
for your mother.
Let's talk about something better than what we were talking about. Survivor Series is like a week away or 2 weeks away or something. I don't know. But
Week from
like
Sunday.
a week from Sunday, is that what it is? Okay, so a week from Sunday, and
Get a little closer.
A ton of more matches. A ton of more matches were announced for this show. One being Rollins versus Nakamura, which when I saw that, I think that's going to be like a great match. Like, I mean,
it's going to be so good. No one else gives a fuck, I guess.
Ryan doesn't care about this match apparently.
Ryan doesn't care.
I love Shinsuke Nakamura, but man, oh man, I don't think he's had a great match in a long time.
You're not watching.
And Rollins, man, like he's good, but his matches they just feel like dances to me at this point. Like it never feels like he's actually in a fight. It just feels like he's got to get his shit in. And I don't know. Maybe it's just the WWE style, and it's not those guys, but it's like, well, I'm selling my knee, but I got to do a bunch of dives, and I'm selling my knee, and I got to do the Falcon Arrow, so Michael Cole can say it. Like, I don't know. Whatever. I'll try to enjoy it. But
no tweet.
Yeah, I'm kind of in the same boat. I'm sick of hyping myself up for something and then like, because I feel like if you at least go in with no expectations, if it's at least decent, you're like, all right, like
great point.
That was a solid showing. But then if it's like, if I'm like, oh man, it's Rollins Nakamura, it's not gonna live up to it. Like in all honesty, WWE style is not gonna live up to it.
I don't see how they can fuck that up though.
I used the same thing about AJ Styles and fucking and Nakamura at WrestleMania.
But Rollins has been on this like workhorse, kind of.
AJ Styles has.
Oh, I wasn't saying.
Come on.
No, AJ's been he's been on autopilot. He's been fine. He hasn't been on workhorse mode like Rollins has. Like he's been killing it.
You know what the problem is when you see Seth Rollins versus Nakamura at Survivor Series. You picture like Ring of Honor Rollins versus New Japan Nakamura, and it's just not how it is.
I think we'll get a little bit of it. I'm not, we'll get some stiff shots, some good back and forth. I think
I really don't. I don't want to kill. I don't want to kill your hype because I know you're going. I'm sure you're excited, but like, I'm trying with WWE not to get my hopes up for things because I just find myself disappointed like most of the time.
Well, look at it this way. It's going to be like a one and done, most likely, right? Unless the draft happens and they both end up on the same show. Remember AJ and Finn Balor? That was
well, that was awesome.
Well, yeah, and it's what?
You know how many times we've said one done and we've gotten like 30,000 and done?
Yeah, there's no.
But when's the last time we saw AJ and Finn Balor again?
Exactly. I got a question for you guys about Survivor Series. So they're doing Brock and AJ again. Champion versus champion. They did that last year. It was awesome. If you guys remember, I don't know if you guys liked that. I loved that match last year.
I did. But AJ got beat up a little too much. But
does AJ lose again this year? Does he do the job, or does he get his win versus Brock?
He better not.
Brock can job.
That's all I'm saying.
You better not what?
Okay. If Brock comes back and beats AJ again, I don't know, like I can't say anything that I would do because I can't, but like I'm just gonna be I'd be so mad because like just let AJ win. Like please let the guy who's gonna be there every single week, like let him win. Like I know Brock is a big star, blah blah blah, but just please.
Well, I don't know if he'll win clean, but like my expectation is that I don't know, they're pushing AJ's he's been the champ for a year. I just don't think it's smart to have him lose to Brock again.
Yeah, because here's the thing: if you do have AJ beat Punk's record, it's always gonna have that asterisk that he lost to Brock. Technically, like it's not gonna benefit him at all in his run. Because it's like if you have him beat Brock, at least he can continue with that and like have that on his record books. But if he loses, it's like like he had a really good run, but remember that time he lost to Brock?
Well, and I really don't see the upside in Brock winning this. There's really nothing in it for him. He already beat AJ once. He doesn't need this at all. So, there you go.
I would have AJ give him some credibility.
Yeah.
Okay, hold on. So, Survivor Series last year was November 19th. So, that means that it's been...
He's been the champion for over a year.
So, he was still the champion on this reign when he faced Brock the first time.
Mm-hmm.
Right?
Because remember, it was supposed to be Brock and Jinder, and then AJ won the belt.
You
remember that?
Yeah, I
I,
was so mad.
I don't remember that actually, but could you
I
imagine
was
like
not nearly as mad. I'm not joking. I had no issue with that because to me
Brock
I
and
look at
Jinder.
because at least I thought it would be hilarious at least like Brock Lesnar versus Jinder Mahal.
like
Like
Brock and Kofi?
That happened.
I don't know about all that. I mean,
That's funny. Just funny to
Brock and
think that
Kofi
happened
happened.
in Japan.
could you imagine
Oh,
how mad Brock would have had to been working with fucking Jinder Mahal? Like
I know
that's why I wasn't
he
that mad
didn't like
about
it
it.
with
'Cause I was like,
Ambrose.
this is entertaining at least.
all right, it's going off the rails. So what else is on the card that you wanted to talk about that was added?
I'm just gonna run through like some of the like the matches because a lot of these don't have like participants. It's just gonna be like you got Team Raw versus Team SmackDown for like the men, the women, and the tag teams. And then you have AOP versus the Bar, and then randomly Buddy Murphy versus Mustafa Ali. Like I just think that's like a funny like random match that they added on there. I'm sure it's gonna be like one of the best matches on the show, but probably
Nobody
be
will
the
see it.
pre-show. But that's Survivor Series. So I don't have anything else to say about Survivor Series unless anyone else does.
Have fun, Luke.
I think it'll be fine. I mean,
It's gonna be good, and you're like, plus you're
yeah,
going to a show. Going to a show makes it like 10 times better than it actually is. Like
not
watching it.
really.
Well, okay. Well, if you think that way, then it's gonna be
No,
bad. Like,
there's times where I've gone to shows and like everyone says it's amazing. I'm like, what are you guys fucking high? Because you guys get the camera angles, the commentary, the close.
Because you're like, shit. Why did I spend so much fucking money on this horse shit?
Well, no, you only get like one view, and it's just one kind of perception of it. But anyway, it'll be fine. I think. I'm not just saying that because I'm going, but
I think it'll be fine going or watching on TV. Like it's basically an all-star game. So
oh, that's so pro WWE of you. What's the next topic?
what do you mean pro WWE?
Well,
Anyway,
you're a big fan.
so this week we had the Wrestle Kingdom card, at least like the main big matches.
Go.
Um, what were we saying? Let's go about the fact that like this is gonna be an amazing show, or the fact that like the card is out.
No, the fact that I love New Japan. I just can't wait.
Okay, well that's good because forget WWE when you could have Kenny Omega versus Tanahashi for the IWGP title. Just
Which one to start off with the preliminary stuff first?
No.
no, you gotta start with the big stuff.
No, now it's just gonna be fucking
Hot
worse
take.
from there.
Hot take incoming.
Hot take. I don't give a fuck.
I think Tanahashi's winning.
Well, yeah, because Omega's leaving.
No,
He's
that's
not
not why.
leaving.
I don't think he's leaving either.
He's not leaving.
I think Tanahashi's leaving. I mean, winning. I'm sorry.
He's leaving. Breaking
Yeah,
news.
Tanahashi signed with Impact. I think that Tanahashi's gonna win, and I don't know if he's gonna lose it in between then or what's gonna happen. But I think it makes the most sense for Kenny Omega to recapture the championship from somebody at Madison Square Garden the night before WrestleMania, because the IWGP title being won has it ever been won in the United States before, or has every title change always happened in Japan?
Didn't Ring of Honor have a
No, not a title change. Because I was gonna. I mean, I don't know the history. I'm no but if it's never changed hands before, I mean, what a great first opportunity to change the IWGP title on United States.
I don't think they've even thought of that, to be honest with you.
At Madison Square Garden. I bet they have thought about it. They look very far ahead.
Oh, well, that'd be cool for historical purposes. Yeah.
You know, Kenny Omega holding up that belt in the Garden, right, guys?
But they don't hot potato that shit though.
It's not about hot potato, but a couple years ago, the guy would win it at Wrestle Kingdom and lose it, a month
New Year's Rockin' Eve or whatever it was.
But a couple of years ago, you weren't going to have the biggest show of the year in Japan, and then a couple months later have another big show in Madison Square Garden in New York. Like it's different times back then, so I could see, that easily happening. I think that would be perfect, to have that. It would definitely it would be a big moment. I feel like that would be like the moment of the weekend, forgetting WrestleMania. Like that would be like a big deal.
And think about it, Yeah, it'd be great if Omega just retains and then he, wrestles like Ibushi or somebody for the championship at Madison Square Garden and then retains it. But like, isn't it way bigger if he wins the championship and gets a reign under his belt at Madison Square Garden in
Yeah,
front of, because with all those guys leaving and a bunch of stuff happening, like you don't know when you're going to have that opportunity again for someone to win the IWGP title at Madison Square Garden. Like that to me is a big moment.
And that in itself is going to be a game changer for an event because it's like MSG, Japan, just everything put into that, where it's like that happens and that's history right there.
Yep.
I also think if you have Omega lose the time,
Oh, yes.
like you're
the time machine.
like what? Anyway, like if
He's got the
I don't
kick
know what
me note on the back. He doesn't know it. Sorry.
Okay, so what I was trying to say before I was really interrupted is if you have him lose the title, people are going to be like talking like he lost the title, probably going to WWE, and then like they benefit from that because like their name is back in the news, like like the elite, like where are they going, blah blah blah. So I feel like that would just like add into it all, and then it would build up more for like the Madison Square Garden show, and I feel like that would be
Can
a
we
good
move down
like
the card?
component. Luke,
Dude,
what is
Luke,
your problem?
Luke, this
today?
is like gonna be like the biggest match of the year. Omega and Tanahashi. Like
This is already 5 stars. The over under is set at 5 stars. So
sure.
Oh God, yeah. Omega can never have anything under 5 stars.
well, no. I mean, if you're
shut
betting,
up.
if you're betting, Or fine, Luke. Let's talk about Chris
I'm
Jericho
trying to
versus
keep
Matt.
it. I'm trying to keep it going because we only have so much time and so many.
All right, Chris
topics.
Jericho. Shut
We
up.
have
Chris
enough
Jericho and
time
Naito.
for-
Chris Jericho and Naito. The first match was awesome. I hope that they take it to an even bigger level. Fat Jericho is awesome, and
Said nobody.
They need to brawl, man. It's gonna be a brawl match, and I'm looking forward to it.
And we'll talk about that brawl match and more after I tell you about DDP Yoga. Okay, Luke, what do you think about this match? You wanted to talk about it so bad. Jericho versus Naito.
I don't really care. I think.
Whoa!
I think Jericho is extremely overrated in New Japan, and he's only had one great match, as far as I'm concerned.
What?
And
You're.
Have you watched all his matches?
Yes.
You're allowed to have your wrong opinion, but
you're entitled to your wrong opinion.
I think no. Here's my problem.
Evil and Jericho, I love that match.
They're all great.
I think he thinks he's on this legendary, historic run.
He's Jericho. He's got the biggest fucking ego out of any wrestler that ever lived.
Yeah, and that honestly turns me off to a lot of his work. And he is.
I'm glad it doesn't turn you on.
Yeah, says the guy that goes and watches Fozzy rehearse soundtrack. You're the biggest. You're a big time Jericho, Mark. Come on.
But I can admit when someone's getting a little ahead of themselves and their head's getting a little big, and I think that's sort of the case here with Jericho. But I mean, he's entertaining, but with his fuck bomb promos and whatnot. But I don't know. I just don't really care about what he's doing over there.
He's got a new style. He's Bruiser Brody.
Yeah, he likes to think he is.
Honestly, like on the flip side, because a couple years ago, I hated him so much for his stupid advertisements. Jericho, we know that you're not in the same room when you're talking about the stupid DDP Yoga or the Sherry's Berries or the whatever. Like, we know that you're not in the same room with the guy.
All right, let's not bury.
You don't have to. You don't have to pretend.
I think we buried him enough. All right.
Saying is when he's New Japan stuff, I have never cared more about Jericho than I do now. Luke, I've never cared more about Jericho than I do right now with him in New Japan. Winning the IC title, facing Naito, facing Omega. Like, I care about him a lot more now than I did many, many years ago and just recently. So,
did I hear a Japanese fan yell something now?
Evil.
She's gay.
She's gay.
Speaking of Okada versus Jay White is another match on the card. I don't really care, but
no
it's
one
Okada.
really cares.
Let me tell
Okada.
you just said.
I don't know,
you
man.
guys saying you don't care. Come on, this is gonna be bomb. If any of you guys watched the press conference. I thought this was one of the better hyped up matches. I just liked the lead into it because before I watched the press conference for Wrestle Kingdom, I was kind of in the same boat. I was like, whatever. But after that, I was like, all right, like I'm ready to watch this. So if anyone's not feeling it, definitely watch the press conference.
So I'm the only one here that watched like the entire G1 pretty much, like front to back.
That's for damn sure.
I watched. Keep patting yourself on the back.
I watched a lot of Jay White matches. He's really good and he's a great heel. I just don't know if he can live up to Okada at Wrestle Kingdom. Like that's a lot of hype.
But it should help elevate him pretty good.
You have to because he wrestled Tanahashi last year at Wrestle Kingdom and it wasn't that good. So if you're wrestling Okada at Wrestle Kingdom, the bar is a 5-star match. Like you don't have a choice. So like if you don't have a 5-star match with Okada at Wrestle Kingdom, you're kind of fucked.
Well, what else do you got on the card, Pico?
I mean, I just want to say that Okada's the best wrestler in the world. Okay, so we have Kushida versus
Okada
Ishimori for the IWGP Junior title.
Overrated.
I really don't care about that match. That'll be the match. Like,
yeah, go ahead.
Ishimori's overrated.
Here we go.
Listen, I agree.
You know,
I just feel like we were getting really bland there, and we needed a little bit of a mix-up.
Okada.
The junior titles don't care.
Today,
fucking spit it out, Pico.
What did I say? What did I do?
You hopped in the DeLorean for a second.
Oh,
he's never seen it.
It was probably what's it called? It was probably the connection. Anyway, so finally, the last thing
titles.
We're going to talk about.
Oh, I thought you were going to bring up that tag match, and I was going to just tell you to just skip it altogether.
I did skip it altogether. So the last thing we're going to talk about is something that kind of just randomly got
That's a short
announced.
card for Wrestle Kingdom.
Well, that's the only. Luke, this show is in January. It is November. We still got a month and some time left.
I'm flying to Tokyo.
Everyone get ready for Click Kingdom.
He's going to Tokyo. They have those gimmick packages now.
I'm all for it.
I got your gimmick package right here.
Yeah, that's for sure.
So
Elephantitis of the nuts.
I feel like this was random. I don't think anyone really like I don't even think ROH announced this at all. I could be wrong. The Final Battle card, Meltzer just kind of like announced it, and I was like, I don't think I've seen any of these matches anywhere. I mean, Brian, you're in New York. Are you going to Final Battle? Is it even still in New York?
Yeah, it's at the Hammerstein.
Are you going to the show?
That?
I would like to go. I saw the card today. I mean, I didn't see it. I heard Meltzer talk about it on Observer Radio. It looks awesome. At least the top few matches look really great. I don't have tickets right now, but I'm planning on trying to go. It looks really good.
Well, we're going to talk about it right now.
Let's talk about it.
There's the 4-way match for the Women of Honor title, which only has two competitors at the moment.
Skip.
We have Bully Ray versus Flip Gordon, which I heard that Flip Gordon on the boat won a the best on the boat thing, and now he's gonna face Jay Lethal for the title. that's what it's called. I don't know.
Whole 200 people saw it.
If Flip Gordon wins the ROH title from Jay Lethal, not at All In, and then on some like stupid show, like I'm gonna be so mad. Anyway, Bully Ray versus Flip Gordon. We got Matt Taven versus Dalton Castle. We got Christopher Daniels versus Marty Scurll. I think that should be a fun match. Christopher Daniels versus Marty Scurll. Like,
it's fine.
I don't know. It looked interesting to me. We have Jonathan Gresham versus Zack Sabre Jr.
In a submission match.
Wait, Todd Grisham versus Zack Sabre Jr.?
Zack Sabre Jr.
Sorry.
Sabre's awesome.
That I really cared about it. We have a ladder match for the tag titles with SCU defending against the Young Bucks and the Briscoes. That I'm gonna buy the show just for that.
It's gonna be sick as fuck.
Like,
oh man, are you 13 again? This is gonna be sick as fuck, bro.
Oh my god, let's get a bottle of Mountain Dew and make some popcorn.
Oh, Ryan, don't need to tell me twice.
What the fuck's wrong with you two? Go ahead, Pico.
No, it's just gonna be amazing. If I buy this show, it's gonna be for that match, and everything else is gonna be extra. marking out like bananas. Hadn't even seen it yet. We have Jeff Cobb versus Hangman Page for the TV title.
That sounds awesome.
That should be fun. Honestly, I'm looking at this card. The main event being Jay Lethal versus Cody for the ROH title. What if the Young Bucks, Hangman Page, and Cody just all won titles that night? Like,
good, they could drop them before their contracts are expired.
drop
A
them
week
on
later.
some TV taping.
Yeah, right on TV, all of them in one night.
Can we
Here's
talk
the-
about something really quick in terms of this card?
I
Yes.
guess.
So, what does Ring of Honor do if they lose all those guys?
Well, speaking of that,
They've been through that before. They lost Samoa Joe, Daniel Bryan, CM Punk.
this is different.
Yeah, it's different.
Oh, you're
they're
telling
hotter.
me this
They are hotter now
Oh.
than they've ever been.
I agree. I think that these guys, if this whole group, okay, think about this group for a second. All right, I'm gonna include Kenny Omega, even though he's like not technically with Ring of Honor, but he does do Ring of Honor shows. Kenny Omega, the Young Bucks, Cody Rhodes, Hangman Page, Marty Scurll.
Oh, is
like-
that everybody?
Your mom.
Boom,
Like
roasted.
if they all leave, like at the
Look,
same time,
every company has gone through this, and
Yeah.
ROH has gone through this too. They'll rebuild.
No.
They'll fucking.
It's gonna take a long time, man.
It will. But their fucking
Listen.
Mount. Oh Christ!
Listen to me. They
Fucking listen to you.
they would not have sold out Madison Square Garden if it wasn't for those guys.
Not saying
And
that.
those
Yeah,
guys,
it's true.
those guys might not even be on the show.
It's
agreed.
true.
But the one thing I wanted to mention was, I think it was about a year being the elite when they got the cease and desist. Hey,
Wait, I
they
have
got
something to say.
go ahead. Go ahead. No, go ahead.
He was
No,
making a joke. You missed
Yeah.
it right over
Sorry, it
your
went
They
over
got
your.
Wait. It went over your
And desist. It must be like Skype messing up because I'm not stuttering at all.
No, I think you're having a small stroke, but go ahead.
When they got the cease and desist, they lit the fire and they had the little piece of paper that said Final Battle 2018. Well, we're finally here at Final Battle 2018. What the heck is that going to be? Is that going to come into play? Is that going to mean that they're just leaving after this? Is that going to mean that they're staying after this? Are they going to forget about that like a WWE thing?
Ask another
Is that
question.
going to be a thing? You know, Luke.
way too many questions for me to answer any of them. So I'm just gonna go home.
This is a Q&A. Sorry. Well, it remains to be seen, Pico. We talked about this on another
Well,
podcast.
I guess I'm going to Final Battle.
Yeah, he's going to go to the Hammerstein.
I'll get tickets. I'm fucking rich.
Hey, didn't you? Yeah, cool. Did you have that one show where Hangman did the moonsault off the thing?
Hell yeah, I did, Daddy.
Or
It
was that? or was that Ethan
What?
Page? I forget.
It was not all ego Ethan Page.
Ethan
It was
Page.
Hangman.
That was
Page.
you got the
I-
wrong page.
Yeah, there's Diamond Dallas, and then
And there's also Page, like the. You know.
oh, then
Chick.
there's Page here. Sticking up my ass hard, Rio.
Well, on that note,
All right, next topic, Pico. Page's
That's it.
porno.
that's all I had.
Okay.
You were rushing through for
That
no
sounded
reason.
so uncomfortable the way you said okay there. Okay.
You got Luke. Do you have anything to add?
Yeah, I think Paige really shouldn't have filmed that stuff.
Okay. Well, on that
Really
note,
bit her on the asshole.
I
I
want
think
to
it was
thank
great for Xavier Woods' career.
Yeah.
Ryan and Ryan for
Brad
coming on. The show.
Maddox. Oh
I
yeah,
wanna
forget
thank
me.
Ryan and Ryan for coming on the show today. No, dude, Luke, you're the.
Oh
you're
wait,
the host.
Ryan's a mainstay. Why the fuck you thanking him?
Yeah, what
just-
the hell?
Thank
He
God
hasn't
it's
been here in
over.
a month.
Yeah, thank God, never doing this again.
Oh,
This is the worst podcast we've all ever heard.
That's all, folks.